Earlier this month, Mayor William Dusty Thiele reclaimed the position of mayor of the city of Katy. Along with many years of serving the city of Katy, he has owned and operated Thiele Insurance Agency for 35 years, and with the last 20 of those years being in the city of Katy. Mayor Thiele, welcome to Hello Houston.
Well, thank you for having me. This is quite an honor for me. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
It's nice to have you here.
That's right. And we want to invite you to the conversation. If you have any questions for the mayor of Katy, now is the time to give us a call at 713-440-8870. So Mayor Thiele, after your win in this latest election, you said you're fully, obviously committed to serving to the city of Katy, but you listed multiple things. And one of the things that stuck out to me most was public safety. And something that we know about that area, it is growing, and it is growing at a very rapid rate. How are you managing public safety with a large influx of people moving to your area?
Well, one thing we got to discern is that the city of Katy is not all of Katy unincorporated. So the whole area is growing. But what we, in the city of Katy, we have about 25,000 citizens in the city of Katy. With that, we have a very large police force. We have a police force of 95 employees in the Katy Police Department, and about the same, a little fewer than that, at the Katy Fire Department. So we're very well staffed. We make sure that we give the best training, the best equipment that we can give our first responders. Because yes, people in the city of Katy, they move into the city limits because they want to know when there's an emergency or when they have a need, they can make a phone call, and we're going to be there in about 2 minutes on average to respond to the citizens.
Population size?
Population size for the city limits is about 25,000 people.
Okay.
Now, for the whole Katy area, Katy ISD area, it's about 370,000 people.
Wow.
So
Mayor Thiele, those people seem to be spread out. You get, I think there's 9 exits down.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Katy.
Exactly.
So you're sort of negotiating Harris County, Fort Bend County, and Waller County,
Right.
And you're right there at the middle of all. How do you do that?
Yeah, well, actually, just little facts. We're the hubs. We call ourselves a hub city. Actually, all 3 counties come together in one spot in a park that we have across the street from the City Hall called Thomas Park, and there's a rock there. And you can go put your finger in this little hole in that rock, and you'll be in all 3 counties at the same time.
Somebody had to live there, right?
Yeah, that's right. But no, we do, and we have very good relations with all 3 counties. We have great relationships with our county commissioners. Harris County's Commissioner Briones, Fort Bend County Commissioner Morales, and Waller County is Commissioner Beckendorf, and we're in constant contact with them on everything. It's great relationship.
What's the biggest challenge facing Katy? Katy seems like just a really easy community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is, but there are challenges, and this is the one thing, and I think you would have read there. People. Mobility is quite a problem because there are a lot of people there, and people are coming in and out of the city all the time. There was a Saturday which we had our police department check, and we had like 250,000 automobiles come through the city limits of Katy on a Saturday. So there's a lot of mobility issues, and as a result of that, we are expanding roads, improving roads, so people can get through in and out of the city of Katy as quickly as possible. So you can get to work on time, you can get your kids to school on time, or just going out to eat or whatever. We want to make sure that the mobility is there. The other thing is our drainage. Once again, as a weatherman,
I was going to bring that up.
You know that.
I do want to ask you, though, about mobility. And when
Yes.
you're talking about roads, I have to ask because my in-laws live in Katy. My husband grew up there. He went to Katy Taylor. And my mother-in-law specifically asked me, she said, does the city of Katy have any control over putting bike lanes on all the new roads built in Katy? Now, Frank? Bike roads, bike lanes.
I'm all for bike lanes if you can afford them.
Yeah, yes. At this time we're not doing that, but we do have something we're working on with a grant from TxDOT to come in and do a bike trail, and we also within the city limits of Katy, we just approved a trail system. and it's about a 3.5 mile trail system coming from north off. I don't know, these roads may not mean anything to you, but they're coming north off Morton Road all the way down to our 10th Street and all the way down to City Hall. It's about a 3 mile, and there will be lanes there for bicycles and hikers, of course, there. But on the streets itself, we really haven't been doing that in the city of Katy. Now, there's probably some plans outside in the unincorporated areas for that I'm unaware of, but within the city limits.
So you mentioned drainage.
Drainage.
Yes.
I remember, it seems like Old Town has some high water issues,
Yes.
as I recall reporting on that. But you do a pretty good job. How are you doing it? Retention ponds?
Yes. So we have, since Hurricane Harvey, and we were already in the design for it even before, we have, it's called Linedecker Landing, and it's a huge retention pond just north of Morton Road, so in the northern part, because where the floodwaters come for Katy, they come from north, Cypress Creek, area. When it overflows its banks, it's coming down towards us. So we do have some retention ponds up there. We also have projects where we've taken out the old drainage system, which the pipes, and I can't give you the inches, but I mean, they were smaller pipes, and we've increased it to much larger pipes. And then any of our roads, new roads that we build, we're including drainage, better drainage within those roads.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize getting the water from the roads down the pipes to the bayous, therein lies the problem.
Yes,
and if you can't get all that water through the pipe, and you're putting 10 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound bag, it's going to come up into the streets and then into your homes if it's
exactly,
enough. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what happened during Hurricane Harvey.
For
and
everyone.
And tax day flood, too. That's one of the other ones that affected us. And so drainage is very important to me and to city council and to administration because in the house that I lived in, it did flood both times in a tax day flood and Hurricane Harvey. So all the neighbors around there, when it starts raining 2 or 3 inches, there's PTSD that sets in because is there going to be enough to prevent that? Because it doesn't take, as an old insurance agent, it takes less than an inch of water into a house and cause thousands and thousands of dollars of damage.
A lot of politicians, I want to take you back to the election. A lot of politicians will say they won, it was a victory, a landslide. And all that. If I'm not mistaken, you're like 87% of the vote for you. So obviously there was support for you. There were also, though, charter amendments on, and they all failed in that same election. What does it tell you about who the voters were and what they want from Katy moving forward? If you get this and those amendments didn't get that, what's going on there?
Well, I think what it was more than anything is there's a council did want to try to make some changes to ordinance, but they really wanted to put it out for a vote, let the voters decide. And so that is actually what happened is they put it out and the voters decided against those changes. Some of them were minor, but some were a little bit more than that. But I think overall, the people in the city of Katy, I think, have been very happy with the way the city has been run. Not by me, but by administration and just the directions that we have gone with our public safety and our public works unit. So I think they're just happy overall with the way the city operates.
But was city governance then out of touch with the people if all of them failed?
I don't believe they were out of touch with them. I think there were some changes they wanted that the older portions of Katy were divided into wards, and you have some newer neighborhoods and some older neighborhoods. I think they liked the way things have been in the past, and they wanted to keep it that way. We're not ready for those changes.
So then,
yet.
what's your roadmap moving forward?
As far as
if all those policies got voted down, they're saying we're not following where your city governance is going, but we've picked this man to lead us. Right. What do they want from you?
Well, I think they want me to keep it on the same path that it's been on, and that's where I stood also. So I think that's what they were wanting more than anything, to keep Katy. Because Katy has been very well run. I mean, we have 7 former mayors that are all still close. We have coffee with the mayors where people can come in and speak to them all. And all the former councils, I think they just liked the way the city had been run in the past.
If you have a question for Mayor Thiele out of Katy, give us a call, 713-440-8870. By the way, how does it feel to have truly the best and most expensive high school football stadium in the United States. $70 million. I've been there, and it is gorgeous. And I know it serves a lot of different high schools and different elementary schools to, I guess, middle schools even. Pretty much anybody over in that area. But that's got to be, you got to be really proud of that.
It is great having that there. And, you know, I'd be remiss. I moved to Katy in '91. I had 2 daughters. They went to Katy Elementary, Katy Junior High, Katy High School. They were Katy High School cheerleaders.
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
So, you know, we're Katy Tiger football and basketball and baseball people. But Katy football, it's more than just that. It brings the whole community together. It is really Friday Night Lights, if you see it. And so having a stadium like that has been great. Now, I have to admit, the old stadium, Road Stadium, was fun because it would really get packed in there. Here you have a little bit of room to spread out.
I don't, now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see it being used for like concerts or musical events or festivals. It's pretty much just for sports.
At this point in time,
that kind of surprises me because we have Smart Financial Center and Sugar Land and the Woodlands Pavilion and, of course, downtown venues. There's really no venue for something like that in Katy.
Well, one of the problems or the things that could prohibit that is alcohol is not allowed to be served.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because it's a school property.
I see.
And so,
Mayor Thiele, I do have a question. Any major commercial developments coming to your area?
yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yes,
And how do you
yes.
handle that given the amount that it is, you know, in the incorporated area is smaller?
Right. Well, we also have out west that we can grow if we need to, and that's where one of our largest ones is coming. It's Texas Heritage Marketplace, and the first store in that it's a huge development. The first store that has announced is Target. It's going to be a super Target out there, but there'll be other big box stores that will be there, along with other commercial, retail, and restaurants. And that's one of the things Katy does not have a lot of. Or restaurants, so eating places within the city. Okay, so this is going to bring more into there. Then we also have the Greens at Katy Court, which is on the north side of the freeway, and it's also a development just east of us are Harris County baseball fields, and there are millions of people that are at those baseball fields every year, and there's really nothing out there, for them to eat. So we're the Greens at Katy Court. That's what that will also be. It'll be a great development. It's like sort of, I won't say it's like La Centera, but the green space that we'll have there is bigger than La Centera, if y'all know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you is how do you balance with these new projects, also then keeping in mind affordable housing, green space, all that comes with developments. How are you balancing it?
Well, it has to be beneficial to everyone, to the city, to the citizens, and also as far as a tax base to the city itself. And it's just one of those things that we look at each development. We have an excellent planning department, which everything comes through there. So it's just seeing what's good for the citizens and then what's also good for the city overall.
And the infrastructure has to be a challenge.
It is. And so like the Greens at Katy Court, it's on an old road. It's called Katy Hockley Cutoff Road. Well, to do that, we're expanding the road there, but we're also adding, as I was saying, drainage in that area too, because once again, that's on the north side where the floodwater comes, so we've enlarged the drainage.
And what about the airport out there? Do you have any jurisdiction over the executive airport?
We do not.
No,
that is
so
not
it's
within
there.
the city.
And it sounds like you don't want any.
Well, there's pluses and minuses to it. So it's something that may happen in the future, but then again,
there's been rumors forever since I've been here. They're gonna do a new Disney World out in Katy. It's gonna be a new huge park out there. Never happens.
Correct. And see, most of that area is what's called Houston's ETJ. So we really don't have jurisdiction over that in the Houston's ETJ.
What would you say is the biggest challenge facing you during this term now?
I think completing the projects that we've already started, and that's the word, I have it on my desk, complete. We want to start completing these projects because they take a long time. That's one thing I learned when I became mayor 3 years ago is how long it actually takes to get a road built. All the things, and some things people don't know is when you're buying the right-of-ways and things to it. Out in Katy, there are gas pipelines all underneath Katy because we have the old Exxon plant out west, and there's just pipelines and pipelines and pipelines. So whenever you go to build a road, you've got to go get the easements, and then redirect the pipelines.
I had no idea.
We have a call from Victoria who has a question for Mayor Thiele.
Thiele, yeah.
Hi, Victoria. Welcome to Hello Houston.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking the call. Well, I love the show, and I love the opportunity of asking this question. I'm a resident of Katy, and I was just wondering what the, I guess if it goes into consideration the water supply, the urban heat island complex, whenever these, developments are being considered, because I noticed, just with all the car washes, apartment complexes, we're losing a lot of green space and everything like that.
Yeah, Mayor, do you have enough water for all of this?
Yeah, and the green space too.
Yeah. Right now we do have enough water for it. It's something that we look at every day. Within a week or two after I became mayor, we were in a drought contingency, and that was in 2022. And so from that time forward, that's been one of the things that we've really looked at. So lowering our wells, we're on well water out in Katy. So lowering our wells, make sure our pumps are all in working order at all times. Doing services not in the summertime, but in the off seasons to make sure we have enough water. And on the biggest portion of the year, there's plenty of water because people aren't watering their grasses. You don't have HOAs or management companies watering their landscaping, so there's plenty of water there. One of the things that we are a part of is called West Harris County Water Authority. And that is something that is in the future where we will be bringing water in from the Lake Houston area into the city of Katy. But yes, we have expanded our capacity for water in the last 3 years. Along with people moving in, we've more than expanded for that. Doesn't mean you're never going to have a problem. A water well can go down, a pump can go down, and then you are scrambling during that time. But we do encourage people to preserve the water. To water when they have to. We've worked with the management companies and things on times when they can water and can't water.
Right.
So
But we have to complete this interview.
Mayor Dusty Thiele of Katy, thank you so much for joining us today on Hello Houston.